Hello and welcome to the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter show. I'm your host, Sally Thibault. Today we're talking the 4 emotions that age you and how to change it. Hello and welcome to the show. I'm having one of those days today. Can't get my hair to go right. Sorry, I know it's inconsequential. But you know, the things we go through. And for those who don't know, I'm doing the whole kind of silver girl thing, you know, just letting my hair grow out, and it's driving me nuts. My husband said to me the other day, he said, "You got gold and silver." Oh dear, but boy, am I tempted to get the whole thing cut off because it's kind of all grey on top and, you know, the last of the colour coming out of it. I haven't had it dyed in 13 months now, but if you're going through this, let me know. I know the things we do as women, right? The things that are important. So glad you've joined me today on the show. We are talking the 4 emotions that age you, including your hair. Just kidding. Look, I think I've mentioned many times on the show, I've been on a real focused journey in 2021 where I wanted, my word for the year was impact. And part of that was looking at everything that impacts also on my age. I want to age well. Going older is, you know, nothing we can do about that. That's the way it is. And I'm not fussed about reversing aging. What I'm fussed about is that I age well. So for the next, you know, I hope another 40 years of my life that I am aging well. So today what I wanted to share with you, because we're in a really, really, really challenging time, and I think probably anybody on this call, you'd be the same. Never in my lifetime would I have imagined we would be going through something like this. And it's really impacting on many people's emotions. And those emotions that we're going through will age us really quickly. So I'm going to be sharing the 4 emotions today that age you, plus I'm going to be sharing with you the solutions that have worked. And most of the things I'm sharing with you today are evidence-based. So this is research that's been done into this particular issue. You know, we're faced with just this bombardment of just unknowing and I don't know. You know, we switched off the TV. We you know, try and stay off social media, or I do get drawn into it because that's why my business exists. I think the thing that really gets me more is the lack of understanding and compassion and kindness. I think what I'm seeing now is this incredible it's either this way or it's that way. And if you're on this side, you're wrong. And if you're on this side, you're wrong. And there's nothing in the middle. And this is creating such a divide. And I know many people on this call, you're here because you've gone down that evolutionary path. You're wise, you know, you've been through the hard times. We don't get here into our late 50s and 60s, early 60s, without having been through terrible things, challenging times, heartbreaking times. Many of us have lost friends or family members, parents. Some have lost children. And we know what it's like to survive this trauma and to get through it. And then to have this. And then if you have an alternative opinion to the narrative, no longer is there opportunity for you to say, I don't think I agree with it. It's like, bam, you're hit with just this, ugh. And it can really impact on your emotions and your ability to think clearly. So today what I wanted to do was share with you the 4 emotions that age you. And as I said, the solutions to that. And so the very first one I'm going to share, of course, number 1 is stress. And many of us are living with this low-grade stress and anxiety at the moment, simply because there's this element of uncertainty and arguing and you know, when you hear some of these people get on TV and talk at you, to you, at you, and you're an idiot if you don't believe what I believe and if you don't do what I say, and it's like, holy cow, whew, tell me what to think. Oh God, it really just gets you. But here's how it makes you age. So stress impacts on your telomeres. What are your telomeres? Telomeres are the little caps. They liken them to like the little plastic caps that sit on the end of shoelaces. They're like the caps that sit over the DNA. Stress, physical stress, environmental stress impacts on those telomeres. And that stress, the high levels of cortisol and adrenaline in the body, cause those telomeres to shorten. And when they shorten, that impacts on your body's age, your body's aging, as well as impacts on health issues, you know, especially health issues that come about through aging. So inflammation and autoimmune disease and all those types of things. So stress shortens your telomeres. You don't want short telomeres. You want long ones, because that aids in the body, helping your body to rejuvenate. Number 2, potentially ages your immune system. It increases blood pressure and inflammation and decreases immune function. Phenomenal study that came out a month or so ago that showed that people who experience stress, high levels of stress, were more likely to succumb to this virus. So because it harms your immune system, it impacts on your ability to naturally fight this virus along with many other viruses. So it decreases your immune function. Now, it gives you wrinkles. Stress gives you wrinkles when we're talking about aging, right? We don't want this. This is an interesting study from Boston's Brigham Women's Hospital. This was done in 2010, so way before what's going on here. Linked shortened telomeres and damaged cells from stress and anxiety that I just talked about to 6 years worth of extra aging on your skin. We've got enough going on, right? To add stress to and you know, I often used to say, I've earned every wrinkle. I've earned every wrinkle. I laugh a lot. I've cried a lot, stressed a lot in my life, worried about my kids. And so I've earned every one. Now, thankfully, I'm, using products that are reversing that, but it does add 6F. So thinking about stress, think about how it's aging your skin. So I'm going to share how to reduce stress in a minute. All right, number 2. Now, this particular emotion, this comes up for so many women. And when it pops up, it's like they go, oh, no, I don't want to, no. And it's the emotion of resentment. Now, this is a really deep emotion for many, many women. Resentment about sometimes that life didn't turn out the way that you thought. It is one of those emotions that many women don't feel worthy of having or think that they're wrong in having it, so they repress it. And I remember one day it came up for me in an EFT session I was doing on myself, and the word popped into my mind and I was like, whoa, no, I can't be resentful of that. What does it make me if I'm resentful of this? And when I used EFT on it, I have never felt so light in my life. It was like this huge weight lifted on my shoulders. Physically, resentment leads to an increased risk of depression, diabetes, and heart disease. It also keeps us mentally stuck in the past, and it prevents you from moving forward. But it's one of those emotions, to me, if you own it and you clear it, you release it by pushing it down even further. Resentment about, things didn't turn out the way they were supposed to. Maybe it was a relationship that went wrong, or maybe something happened in your family that you weren't expecting, and it changed the course of the direction of you as a family. It's okay to be resentful about that. The key is that if you hang on to the resentment, it makes you heavy and weighs you down. I noticed when I released resentment myself, my shoulders lifted. It was like this heaviness that was weighing on me. Owning it was one of the most powerful things I ever did. Was to own it and make it okay to have it. And now when I'm working with clients, I'll often just kind of tap on it. I mean, literally, I'll just go like a little. So do you feel a bit resentful? And the eyes will go, and I go, it's okay. And then the tears come. I've been hanging on to this for so long. When we release it in 3 steps I'm going to show you at the end. It's amazing. So if you're feeling resentful about something, release it. Don't hang on to it because it will age you. Number 3 is doubt. Big one right now, right? Doubt. Am I right in thinking what I think? Am I right in believing? If my opinion is different to everybody around me, like, am I right? Or is they right? But doubt stops you, especially self-doubt, trusting your intuition, and it keeps you feeling stuck. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. Oh, I don't think I could go there. I don't. What if I do that and it's wrong? What if I don't take this and I'm wrong? Like, it's huge right now. And it's an emotion that ages you because that doubt, it's just like it runs circles in your mind. And when you don't feel that confidence in your own intuition, it closes you in. It closes you in and stops you from experiencing life. You know, I've got a mantra that I write actually every morning. I now allow myself, I open my heart and my mind to all intuitive thoughts, ideas, possibilities, and opportunities that will allow this manifestation that I've got coming to fruition. And can I tell you, the number of, since I've been doing this, 3 months I've been writing this now, there's so much intuitive stuff that's been happening. And I look back and go, that was just simply trusting my intuition on that. A big one coming up in a couple of weeks. I can't wait to share that with you. All right, so we've been through that. So number 1 is stress. Number 2, resentment. Own it. You're resentful about something. Own it. Don't gloss over it. Don't go, don't do that. One of my pet peeves is the word, it is what it is. Don't do that. It's not is what it is. If you have an emotion, let it out. Release it. Find the things behind that have caused you to be stuck in that resentment and just go in one by one and cherry pick the emotional intensity off it. And you'll feel so much better. You'll be open to the intuitive ideas that come to you. All right, number 4. Big one. Fear. Fear would have to be the number 1 emotion right now that is impacting on so many people. I'm going to share with you, and you might be able to see what's going on out there based on this 4-letter word. 1, it weakens your immune system. It can cause cardiovascular damage, gastrointestinal problems, and irritable bowel syndrome. Fear can cause all these at the time in our lives when we need a strong immune system more than any other time. This fear that is being perpetrated right now, all the time, cases, hospitalizations, cases. Fear. Oh my God. Oh, what if? You have to let that fear go because it's not your reality. You know that. But here's the other thing. It impacts on your memory. It can impact on the formation of long-term memories and cause damage to certain parts of the brain, such as the hippocampus. If you're constantly living in this fear, you can't think clearly. You can't remember things. Your cortisol levels are high. And that's the narrative at the moment, is just fear. So it's impacting on your ability to think clearly. Next part about fear. It interrupts the processes in our brains that allow us to regulate emotions, read nonverbal clues. I think this is really important. Read nonverbal clues and other information presented to us and reflecting before acting. So what we're seeing a lot of is people making decisions about their health based on fear, not from a place of understanding what's really going on, especially the nonverbal cues. It's interesting to step with the sound off, watch some of the nonverbal cues that are going on. The way people stand, they'll stand over you or lean into the camera, like I'm in charge. So the fear pulls back. And there's one particular person, you'll know who I'm talking about, in New South Wales, who is just a bully. He is just a bully. And he insinuates, do as I say, or there's something wrong with you. Do as I do, or this is going to happen. It's psychology 101. It's NLP, it's hypnosis, and it's fear. Let's perpetrate the fear. When you don't feel fearful, you're able to make rational, reasonable decisions. But that fear impacts on our brain ability, and, it can lead to things like, connecting to memory loss, Alzheimer's. It's just this fear-ridden, and I see so many people making decisions because they're terrified. They're not thinking clearly. There's no rational. It's like, wait a minute, look at the stats. Look at the stats. What is the rates of all of this? No, we're not given the true story, but the fear is overriding our own, as wise women, as influential sovereign women, to make decisions because we're living in fear. You can't go here and you can't see, and what if you give this to somebody and they die and then you'll be terrible. I was like, oh my God, stop it. Stop it. Just think rationally. The last thing, it impacts on our mental health. And other long-term consequences of fear include fatigue, clinical depression, and PTSD. Now, we're seeing this a lot, fatigue. When the fear is a narrative that's being run, we go, oh, I'm just over this. I just can't do this anymore. It's too hard. Because the fear is like this, heightens your amount of cortisol and adrenaline pumping through your system, because that's what fear is supposed to do. Right? When we feel fearful, we're alert, right? You can hear the rustling in the jungle. What's that coming to eat me, kill me? And so the fear, you're up. You can't stay in that heightened level of cortisol and adrenaline for too long. The flight and fight and freeze response, you can't stay there. It's exhausting. And you end up with adrenal fatigue. And I see this happening a lot at the moment. You can see people going, I'm done. I'll just do whatever you want because I just can't do this anymore, right? You hear this a lot. I just want my life to get back to normal. I can't do this anymore. This fear narrative that's causing you to move out of your sovereignty is impacting on your ability to make rational, reasonable decisions based on what's right for you and your family. So if you feel yourself moving into that fear, even right now, the fear about what I can and can't do, which is absolute rubbish because it just is. It's being pushed, but it's not going to hold up. But they're dangling the carrot, right? Do this or you can't do that. Well, I'm in a group at the moment with 50,000 businesses who are saying, we're going to keep on going. Don't let it get to you. Is that when you fall into fear, it's to recognize it. I'm in fear right now. I've dropped out of my sovereignty. I've dropped out of my knowing. I've dropped out of my intuition, and I'm in fear. So this fear, this decision making, ask yourself the question, am I in fear? Katerina, driving, listening, welcome. A bit of a tangent today. All right, let's look at the solutions. Right? Let's look at the solutions that you can do. Solution, because that's what you want. You're a sovereign, influential woman. You have integrity, and you have intuition, and you have knowledge, and you have wisdom earned through experience. You've earned the right to question what's going on right now. You've absolutely earned the right. And to have career politicians trying to make you scared of not trusting your intuition, not my watch. And she forced, now we're not coerced, bullied, or bribed into doing something that doesn't feel right for my body. Number one, that's just I'm not going to. And I was asked the question today, and I said, no, not now. I'm still open. I am still researching. I will still look, but don't you threaten me. Don't you bully me or bribe me. Really? You have to bribe people? You have to give them free donuts or free beer, or you can fly if you... What? Can you not? I mean, I'm not preaching. I'm not preaching to you. You're the converted. The thing to do is to hold the space. All right. Top 3 things to do. Number 1, meditation. Can I just say, even if it's 2 minutes or 5 minutes, I meditate for 20 minutes every morning. First thing I do before I do anything else is meditate. I have a strong vision. I hold onto that vision. I just, keep it. And then I just open up my heart and my mind to the possibilities. I connect with the universe. I connect and ground with the Mother Earth of the earth. And I just ask them to protect me. I ask them to be there for me. I have my higher self, my guides, my angels. They're all there. My mother, God bless her. She's a wonderful angel, to be there, to help me and guide me. I connect to Mother Earth all the time. She's there. We get it. We're connected to her. She's there for us. Hold the space. Meditation. I cannot say more about meditation than you just got to do it. Turn off the TV. Stop listening to everybody else and learn to listen to yourself and your guidance, your intuition. Number 2, EFT, another one. As I say in the 10 principles of wellness, tap regularly. If you go to my website, if you go to my YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/Sally Thibault, I've got, 40, 50 tapping videos that you can find on anything. Use it regularly. Make it part of your day. I've tapped in the shower. I've tapped driving in the car. I've tapped while I'm waiting for the kettle to boil. I've tapped while I'm walking around the house. I've tapped while I'm going for a walk on the beach. If I got a negative thought, bam, I'm going straight. Why? Because I'm not going to let that negative thought, that fear, age me. And one thing about EFT is it makes you feel lighter. Every client I have ever worked with, and I've done EFT and we've shifted a negative thought, will say one thing: I just feel lighter. You're lifting up that heavy negative energy and extending the length of those telomeres and looking after your skin so you don't get wrinkles. So that's number 1, meditation. Number 2, EFT. All these are simple, right? They take 2 minutes. Well, meditation 20, tapping maybe 5. That's 25 minutes. And my other favorite one I'm doing all the time now, forgiveness. Had a situation last week, a very unfortunate conversation where I got really triggered, and the conversation descended into some name calling, not from me, mind you, from the other people involved in the conversation. And it was really interesting because I was quite overwhelmed, and the conversation really hurt. I was insulted by the conversation, and I was deeply, deeply hurt, and I let them know. What I did then, because it's my responsibility that I was hurt, it was my responsibility that I was triggered, I practiced forgiveness. What was interesting is the people involved in the conversation came back to me the next day with an apology. I didn't say a word. All I did was practice forgiveness, and we need to be doing this on a global scale. When I see those people throwing barbs from the TV, bullying, coercing people, forgive them. And using Ho'oponopono, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you for any time I've bullied somebody, for any time I've ever tried to coerce somebody, because there will have been times when you're maybe 5, you bullied your best friend to get what you wanted. You just go and heal all that. And if you don't understand Ho'oponopono, I'll put a link underneath this. It's a brilliant practice. And I use Ho'oponopono with tapping. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. You don't have to, but I just really like it. So if you're in conversations with people and you're being triggered, you heal you. The Heart Math Institute stuff I talk about all the time, where your heart resonance resonates out about 1 meter from you. So when you heal you and you're not triggered, you're actually creating space for people to step back into and not feel that they're judged. And I think right now that's coming up for a lot of people, is that judged, bullying, coercion. And, you know, we've probably all done it in the past. I said as kids, you know, like maybe you bullied your friend or coerced your friend or hammered your friend to give you something or go with your friend or win a game. I don't know, something. Clear that, whether it's in this lifetime or one previous, clear it all. And then allow the love to flow back into you. You are, because it's in your world, there's something for you to heal. And right now that's happening on a human scale. I heard a wonderful video during the week, and it was really interesting. The guy that was doing the video said, we've always been under control. We've always been. We just didn't know it. We've always been part of this matrix. We've always been controlled by the government. We just didn't know it. And the last few years, that's been ramping up because they're, you know, bringing in more regulations and you know, we laugh about privacy, but every time we pick up our phone and get on Facebook or Instagram or anything, they're collecting data. Every time we Google something, they're collecting data. We just didn't know it. And so now the intensity is intensifying, and we've always been here. And what I loved about the end of this video was he said, we are moving to something far greater. We just don't know what it is yet. But we have to move, as Laurie Laz says all the time, as a human collective. And what that means is us. What that means is as we heal, as we elevate, as we hold the space, we hold the intention, we hold the energy, we're bringing the human collective with us in our circle of influence. And so it's not about being triggered, but it's about holding space. People aren't going to agree with you because they're living in fear. That's just it. They're living in stress and fear. So I'm not going to, and they may attack you. Your job's not to try and change their mind. That's not your job. The job is for you to deal with whatever's going on for you. And that's it. That's it. And I think we all do, as I was last week. I was really triggered by this conversation, I tell you. I mean, I was upset by it, you know. I had to walk away from my desk, have a cry. I was tempted to pour a glass of wine at 10 a.m. And then I had to, when I got my head together, I was like, okay, what are you being triggered about? What was your reasoning for responding the way you did? And when I chose to forgive that, the dynamics changed. So this is about us. This is about us. And we have earned the right to question the narrative. We have we are not children. We're smart, we're intelligent, we're intuitive, we're influential, and we've earned the right to say, that doesn't feel right. And if somebody challenges you, say, well, okay, that's fine with you, but I'm questioning. Like I was questioned about it today on my weekly radio segment I do with one of the guys. He asked me, and I said I wasn't going to be drawn in the conversation. I just said, no, not yet. He said, are you anti? I said, not yet. I'm not going to get drawn in that conversation. How you doing? Let me know. I'm sorry it's turned into a bit of a sermon, but I am so grateful for these wonderful women in my life. Can I tell you? I can't tell you. What's happened because of all this is these incredible friendships and connections that have occurred because of this. Us people out there who used to think we're all by ourselves are suddenly finding this tribe around us, and I'm loving their energy. I'm just loving their energy. And it's light and it's energetic. It's beautiful. It's like, this is what this has meant, that I've met wonderful people, and this has been worth it. So hold your space. Hold your space. Hold your intention. Do your meditation, EFT tapping, and forgiveness work. Because if you find yourself going down this, pull back. Just pull back. And we're the ones, us, that are holding the space for the human collective to move through this. And yes, it's hard because we don't know what's going to happen. We have no idea what we're going to. But it's crumbling. Last week I watched some Parliament. Somebody sent me a video of Parliament in New South Wales, and they all started attacking each other. That's interesting. All starting to turn on each other. That's what happens when you're not telling the truth, right? All start to turn on each other. So have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope this has helped. I hope this has inspired you to look at those emotions. Let's not let our emotions age us. Oh, my God, there's enough to deal with. Enough to deal with. You know, bad enough the sun's aged me, let alone what my emotions. So have a wonderful, wonderful week. Just a quick reminder, the 14-day sleep challenge is on if you're interested in being part of that, because sleep, one of the most important things you could be doing right now to help your brain process all this information. You're welcome, Suzanne. Thank you for being here. And I look forward to seeing you all next week on the Living Life. Oh, before I go, quickly, I have the most amazing woman coming on next week. You will love her. Oh, my God, I cannot wait for her to be on. She has an incredible story, and she's truly an influential, sovereign, wise woman, and you will love her story. So that's next week on the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter show. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for being a part of my life. I really honor and value everything for being here and for listening and hearing me go on a tangent today. Let's not age, shall we? Well, I always say, let's age well. All right. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you next week on the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter show, and for a wonderful, wonderful interview. See you then. Bye for now.